Everybody, and welcome to our channel. We are here to dish on Bachelor in Paradise, episode 4. I think that's the episode we're at. I mean, it's been quite the season. It's just getting started, and we're here to break down all of the latest tea from last night's episode. So welcome to our channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new here. I'm your host, Zachary Reality, with Allison Van Dam and Kayla Thompson. Happy Tuesday, guys. How are we feeling today about last night's episode?
I thought it was
Allie?
good. I don't know. I feel like I'm just like I get exhausted more quickly with Bachelor in Paradise, especially when we have the 2 episodes a week. And so I was kind of like ready for it to start moving. I feel like typically the Monday episodes feel a little slower to me than the Tuesdays, but maybe that's intentional from like the editing perspective. But curious to know if you guys feel the same way.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel that way about the Monday episodes, or I think they tend to feel like they're dragging or they're showing us the stuff that maybe we don't care about to save for the stuff, that we really want to see for Tuesday. And I'm like, I don't know, but I mean,
Yeah.
we'll have to talk about this episode. I was a little like, seriously, like, why? What's happening right now?
It was definitely
But
a
yeah.
slow episode last night. Clearly, it felt like there was just a lot of filler in regards to Ashley and Jared. So, we're going to just talk about everything that went down, and we're going to make it more fun here on this panel than the actual episode. Okay. So, we're just going to roll with
Period.
it, and we're going to make the most of it. And we kind of pick things up from last week where Teddy had like this big self-elimination and everyone was just trying to like recuperate from that since no one saw it coming. She didn't say goodbye. Rodney had a date card and he was gonna give it to Teddy, but she left. So he decided to not give it to anyone and just kind of hang out around the beach. Allison, have we kind of figured anything out over the last week in regards to why Teddy has left and, what this means for the rest of the contestants?
Yeah, I mean, what we saw on the show was her kind of alluding to the fact of if I can't make it work with Andrew, who is the person that I came down here to be with, then what's the point of me sticking around? I feel like she kind of lost hope in the process. But then she did post on Instagram something along the lines of 2 things I'm proud of. And it was, leaving situations that no longer serve me. And the second point was something along the lines of, standing up to people who try and cross my boundaries or push my boundaries or something. I'm obviously don't know the wording off the top of my head, but the internet kind of went off on that because they're like, we're producers pushing her to do things that she didn't want to do. What was going on behind the scenes? And it was kind of in a positive way, very much a call out to the producers, to the show, and to maybe what went down on the beach that we didn't get to see as viewers.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, she specifically said like people in authority try and cross them. So I think a lot of us picked up on what she was putting down. And I think Kayla, you kind of said it too that, this episode just kind of felt like a big old mess. I think everyone was just trying to recuperate from the Teddy fallout. And I also think that the fans just kind of see what's going down. So how are you feeling about the overall like schedule of 2 nights a week? Like, do you think that it's
Hmm.
truly just like happening too slow? I mean, we haven't even had a second rose ceremony yet. So how do you think we're going to get through this season?
Yeah. I mean, I think that how am I going to get through it? I don't know, just willpower. Sheer willpower. I don't know. I just feel like
Mhm.
it's a lot of content, and then you also question, is it necessary like to have 4 hours of this every week? Like, you guys can do 2 hours once a week. You absolutely could. And I think this episode is the perfect example of why they probably should, because I think a lot of viewers, I mean, reading Twitter and stuff, are like, what is going on? Like, I don't care about most of this stuff. Like, why are you hiring? Why do you have hiring? Why are you casting like 19 people to come on the beach, but you're only showing like 4 of them? And then another
Mhm.
couple who's not even on the season. It's like, who's not, or, relevant to the current season, I guess, if that makes sense. So it just feels
The
like
airtime,
maybe
the
they're trying to pay
airtime
the
has just felt
bills.
like that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Is there
Yeah.
anyone you want to have more airtime that isn't getting it? Because clearly we're only seeing Genevieve, Ashley, and Jared.
Yeah, I mean, literally. I think that I'm very curious about like how Brittany feels. I think she's been a loner pretty much since she got there and not had one romantic connection that we saw at all. Besides Romeo trying, but she was very much not into that. But I think the other thing that they didn't show was kind of, at least not enough, was really how Andrew's feeling post this Teddy situation. We've seen Andrew a good bit, but I think like to me that was like a sign of like, okay, you guys are off with what we want to see, like what makes sense. Like show us how is he gonna get a rose? Like how is he gonna make it? Like
Hmm.
and you're giving the date card to Ashley and Jared. Like it doesn't. It's just very like read the room, guys. Read the room, producers. This is not what needs to be happening.
I
But yeah,
cannot
Brittany,
wait.
Casey, like those kind of people. Yeah, I want to see more of them.
There's a lot of
You
people on the
know.
beach, and like we're gonna get into the whole Ashley and Jared,
Yeah.
but I think like the main character here is Genevieve. Like she's getting so much
Oh my
airtime. If you
gosh.
follow Bachelor data on Instagram, she tracks everyone's airtime per episode, and Genevieve has been at the
Hmm.
top every single week. This is literally her season. So she just got back from the date with Aaron, and so did James and Shanae. And she goes to talk to Justin because she kind of wants to check in with him after the date with Aaron, which went really well. And it's Justin's birthday. So he wanted a kiss on his birthday. But Genevieve had a really good time with Aaron and she felt seen by Aaron, but she still kissed Justin and then felt really bad about it after. And I felt like Genevieve got like the ick from Justin. Like that was the final straw. Allison, two-part question. What is your thoughts
Oh.
on Genevieve and Justin? And whose birthday do you think it will be next week?
Okay, thank you for saying that because I literally every episode it's been someone's birthday. Lace slash Loose started it off by lying about her birthday, and I was like, oh well, that's sad because they're gonna make a big deal of it. Oh no, it's everyone's birthday. The way you get cast on Bachelor in Paradise is by being messy, by being dramatic on your season, and having a birthday during the summer. Those are the two qualifying factors, and I'm really glad that they found
Yeah.
everyone whose birthdays was day to day to day to day to day. Second
Yeah.
off, I agree with you that I think Genevieve got a little bit of the ick from Justin, and I will say that I was impressed by Aaron a bit. Like I feel like Aaron just has this very like F boy mentality, and I'm thinking like, obviously we saw him on the beach last summer. He ended up just leaving with James, and they kind of maintained that bro-y frat boy persona.
They're still
But
together.
I know, but I'm intrigued by these different elements that we're seeing of Aaron, how he's handling, the girl he's interested in also having another potential suitor, and how he's dealing with these conversations and like the tension on the beach. Do I think he's still a little pouty sometimes and has those like kind of baby instincts? Sure. But I also do think he's grown a lot from the Aaron that we saw last season. So I was intrigued by this, but I'm with you guys. It feels like if we're getting 4 hours a week, let's dive more into that. Let's see Andrew. Like,
Hmm.
if we're going to have 4 hours of footage a week, why are we wasting so much time on crab shots and Wells in wigs and like
Hmm.
seeing people shower and seeing people like Sally's suitcase? Like, that's not what we want. If I'm going to have to sit down and
Yeah.
watch 4 hours of something, make it worth my time.
Wait, so whose
Yeah.
birthday should it be next week? Because I think it should be
Oh,
Aaron's.
That would make
Aaron's.
sense.
Andrew could use a
Trifecta.
win.
Sally.
Andrew could use a birthday. Or Brittany.
Yeah.
Ooh. So
Mm.
Kayla, what do you think? I mean, I'm so over Genevieve and Justin. I feel like they've had the same conversation 5 times. They clearly don't get along. They keep
Okay.
breaking up, but yet
Right.
they feel obligated to stay together for literally no reason. Why are they
Yeah.
fighting for each other? I don't get it.
You know what's funny is that when you think about it, like because we knew that Aaron and Genevieve knew each other before, you would think that like that's how if like I would think she would be acting that way with Aaron if they were switched, right? Like if they got to the beach and started
Hmm.
dating first. I kind of expected this more from Aaron and Genevieve than like Aaron and Justin. Like why do they feel this like
It
loyalty to
makes no
try to make it
sense.
work with each other? It doesn't make any sense. It would make more sense with Aaron. Yeah, you guys get it. But yeah, I think they like even when they try, it's like they just they don't argue well, they don't communicate well. I mean,
Hmm.
they piss each other off so quick, like but then they
They
like
hate each
start making
other.
out. And you're like, you guys are kind of toxic. And yeah, I mean, I think like what is funny though of like I don't know. It's such a weird parallel of like it was her birthday and then he went on the date, and now it's his birthday and she went on the date. It's so weird. And so I do understand a little bit of Justin's side of it though, like kind of feeling like you're a little hypocritical because when I was in almost the exact same position, you were like the sky was falling, like London was burning down. You were like, I'm about to like, eliminate myself. And yet like, you're kind of, I don't know. I can see how he feels a little like slighted maybe, but I think it just doesn't work anyway, so they should just stop. It's annoying.
They
It's
need to
like you guys just
stop.
don't work
They need to
anyway.
stop.
Just move
It makes
on.
no sense.
It literally makes no sense. And maybe Justin should have continued to pursue Victoria, and just went with his
Mm.
gut. I think he's too aware of like trying to, I don't know. He's interesting to me. But I will agree with Allie though. I think that Aaron he surprised me a lot. Like Aaron really surprised me a lot. I was not expecting him to be so like grounded in that conversation with Genevieve and like understanding and like I don't know. He was so emotional last season. This season he was just more like, no, okay, I get it. Like that hurt my feelings, but I was like, wow, look at you. Okay, this is nice.
Yeah,
Maybe I do like
Aaron's
them together.
chilling.
So it's
Aaron's
nice to
chilling this
see.
season. He's just like not taking it too seriously. I think with Justin, just to like close this out, like I think he just really wants to be the good guy and like he just doesn't
Mm.
want to like hurt Genevieve, so he's just like keeps on trying, but it's just so not working. And I'm glad that Sally's coming next week because like this never made sense. Like it was a lot to
Yeah.
watch. I mean, Allison, do you have any like final thoughts on this? Like, do you think Genevieve and Aaron are gonna really last? Because she went to his room, she was like waiting outside the shower. I feel like she has puppy dog eyes for him.
Just like the shower like I don't, again, 4 hours of content and I'm watching James fish out your body wash for you for what felt like forever. So that was an interesting scene. But no, I liked their conversation. I liked that she acknowledged what happened. I'm with Kayla. He had a good response to the situation. They were able to express their feelings. Do I think they're like a love match forever and they're gonna get engaged at the end of this or like live a long happy life together? Probably not, but I do think for the time being they're a better match than she and Justin are. She and Justin remind me of Natalie and Shane from Love is Blind in the
Oh
fact
my
that there's not
god.
like one
Mm.
person to blame. It's not like one
Yeah.
evil person and one victim. It is two people who have the ability to bring out the worst in each other, and I think that's their vibe.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yikes. That
Oh
is
my god.
so.
Let's switch gears to Shanae and James. Like they had a good time on the date. I didn't think like, there was as many sparks as James and as Aaron and Genevieve, but they vibed so much so that when Shanae got back, she told Logan that she needed more from him and that, he just wasn't all over her. He didn't check in with her. And Logan kind of felt like, wait, what? Like you're the one that went on a date. I thought you were
Mm.
gonna check in with me. So it kind of seems like they've basically hit a wall where it just seems like, you know what, they gave it a try and they're not into each other anymore. Kayla, do you feel like we can salvage Logan and Shanae, or is she just moving on to James and Logan is gonna end up, who knows?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Like, who knows with a lot of these guys, right? Like, that's what I'm so curious about. But yeah, I think it's interesting. In general is just interesting on Bachelor in Paradise. But yeah, I think that I understood both sides of how Logan felt, how Shanae felt. I think I maybe sided more with Shanae because I am the type of girl who is also like, yo, if a guy wants me, like I want him to show me that he wants me. And regardless of like I went on a date with someone else, like, okay, sure, yes, but I don't know. It's so weird because it's like that's paradise. Like it just kind of is what it is. So anyone feeling like too icky about it, it's just like, well, relax. Like it's paradise. We're all supposed to be dating each other anyway. Of course, appreciating communication, 100%. But I think that Logan could have stepped up a little and been a little bit more assertive. And I think like she was looking for that from him. Period. It seems like even when they were good. So I guess her and Genevieve were kind of relating on that aspect of like I like him and I know he's kind of likes me, but it's like I kind of just want more. Like I want more validation. I want you to be like. So yeah, but then for Logan, yeah, I guess I understand he was maybe trying to feel out how she was feeling from the date and just kind of play it chill until maybe the next day talk to her. I don't know. So it was interesting, but I think yeah, she'll probably just move on. And obviously she left the conversation. She was just like, whatever, I don't want to do this anymore. I'll just stick with
If he
James for right
wanted to,
now.
he would.
So
Like, these guys,
that's
if they
it.
want to put an effort in, if they like you, they're going to. So I feel like we
Yeah.
kind of saw this with Genevieve and Justin too. It's just like, if you're not getting the effort and the validation, like, that speaks volumes. These guys are not into you and
Mm-hmm.
they just want a rose. Like, for real.
Yeah.
But it also is
Yeah.
just like the environment where you're like, you feel like you're forced to stay with people because like everyone wants to stay on the show as long as possible. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens. I mean, do you have any predictions for this rose ceremony, Allison? Who knows if we'll ever get one?
I mean, when you said that we still haven't gotten our second rose ceremony, I don't know if anyone flagged my expression because I was like, oh my God, we haven't. Like, it just feels like it is days upon days. I'm like, at this rate, do Ashley and Jared get a rose in the rose ceremony? Because I feel like we've seen more from them than we have from our actual contestants. I'm like, I understand you're here for a vacation. You're trying to use the boom boom room, but also I'm more invested in the new connections being made. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting, obviously, we see with this double date, these girls had guys before the double date, and now they're questioning if those original guys are putting the effort. It feels like very much cookie cutter, the same situation. Like Shanae is just taking a leaf out of Genevieve's book of, oh, well, this new guy makes me feel prioritized, and my older guy doesn't. So let me just bring this up to his attention so that he puts in more effort. So, I mean, I think every rose
Jump
ceremony in
ship.
Paradise, you're going to have your tried and true, they're in it to win it. We had Joe and Serena last year. We're going to have Serena and Brandon this year just consistently choose each other. But you're always going to have a little bit of
Yeah.
chaos of someone just giving out a rose because they don't have anyone, or someone pulling in last minute and like
Mm-hmm.
really acting like they're into someone just so they can stay and meet someone new. And so I feel like it's just to be expected that we won't fully know what's going to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of Ashley and Jared, they entered in last week to give a date card and give advice, and they've totally overstayed their welcome. They still haven't left. They entered the opening credits. They had a fantasy suite date in the Boom Boom Room. They even got a date card and a one-on-one. And Allison, I agree. I actually think that since they're staying, they'll probably do the rose ceremony and give out a rose to each other. I don't see why they wouldn't, because Ashley commented on Bachelor Data's Instagram saying that she's going to be on the show until Monday. So I guess they signed a contract for like a 5 episode special because they're truly like here for it, and they should have just hosted the show. That's my opinion on this. Kayla, what do you think? I think they should have just had them host the whole season. Like, why
Yes.
else are they there?
Zach, you're just such a genius with this stuff. That is exactly what should have happened. Either yeah, they host, or like just come on and be like the on-set,
Production crew.
counselors. I don't know. Yeah. Like I didn't expect them to literally be a part of the season. Like them getting just the boom boom room, then the one-on-one date, and even Wells going through that whole story and the flashbacks. It's like there's so much screen time of Ashley and Jared, and it's like we know, we get it, but I didn't sign up for that. I signed up to see what's going to happen with, Brandon and Serene, or these other couples, or who, like even Victoria F and Johnny, like what's going on with them? They chose each other,
Mm-hmm.
at the rose ceremony. Like, what I want to know, like, why did you bring Victoria F on here if you're not going to show her? What is going on
Why did
here?
they bring
I
anyone?
know y'all
No one is
parents,
getting
but
shown. There's literally no one getting
yeah,
airtime,
it's
and like Ashley and Jared just got
ridiculous.
so much airtime. And I think it's just because they bought 6 extra episodes this year, so they just have time to fill. And honestly, guys, a little teaser for you: Joe and Serena are coming down. Towards the end, Clayton and Susie are coming down, and so is Becca and Thomas. So I don't know if they're also gonna get so much screen time and put them on dates, or if they're just gonna come in for advice. But I think this is just the Bachelor's way of, showing them that it works and that you can
There
manifest
is
anything.
not room on the beach nor in ABC's schedule for all of those couples to spend this much time on the beach. Absolutely not. Come in,
Yeah,
come
I don't.
out, let's be done.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a lot.
please.
But they'll be on the show, and I'm sure they're getting paid. So Ashley and Jared, get that bag. I mean, it looks really easy. Let's talk about Brandon and Serene. They're falling in love. They've kind of been a couple since day one, but they finally got their date card this week, and Brandon started crying because Serene took his breath away, and they had a dinner date in the middle of a pool. Serene wanted to feel validated and loved, and Brandon let her know how worthy she was and deserving, and they admitted that they're falling in love with each other. Allison, how do we think this is going to end for them?
Someone go to Costco and buy as many tissues as you can if these two ever get married. Because if the man's crying before they go on a date, he is going to be a mess on their wedding day. And I thought it was so
My
cute,
God.
and I love them. And I am excited to see more of them because I think typically they fill the first few episodes with drama and a lot of content of people who are going to go home. We saw that with Haley. She was basically narrating an entire episode because she ended up going home.
R.I.P.
And if they
Haley.
R.I.P. Haley, our girl. But
Loved
honestly,
her.
like, if Serena and Brandon are going all the way, it will probably just continue to get more of their love story as the season goes on. So this is a great indicator of the fact that they're on the same page. They feel so strong right now. And they're just a beautiful couple. I'm just, overall, like, I would just gush about them for hours if I had the choice.
Girl, we got 20 more
Yes.
minutes. Kayla, how do you feel about them? Just
That was funny. That was funny.
okay, more
Well, y'all
sarcasm
know.
coming.
Yes, please. Excuse me, guys. Yes, y'all
Take a
know
minute.
that this is
Your breath's
my
taken away.
yes, this is my fantasy. This is my football fantasy couple. Like, this is a couple that I literally have been wanting since like they both left their respective seasons. I was like, they would make sense together. And the fact that I'm watching them not just fall in love and say all these things about each other, but like you feel it when you watch them. Like you feel it when they the way they look at each other. The fact that they're crying over how they feel about each other. Like I could not be more happy for them. I really and they both deserve it, you know. Just them talking about like how he's like, I don't want to spend a day without you. I don't want to like eat ice cream with mango without you or like not take naps without you.
Aw.
Like you're like the biggest blessing to my life. And Serene being like, yo, no one's ever looked at me the way you look at me. Like I'm literally like watching it like that's what I want. Like I want
But is
that
it, tell us how it's different, Kayla,
too.
between Brandon and Michelle, because a lot of people know Brandon falls really hard. He's all in when he's in.
Yeah.
So like how do you think this is different?
I think it's different because of what Brandon said to Serene. Like he's like the fact that you chose me, like you chose me above everybody else. There's other guys here too that you could have been interested in, but you chose me every day, and chose me first. And even just
Aw.
like when she walked out, just like what Allison was saying, when she walked out for the date, him crying just seeing her for a date, like that's something deeper. And I think too, this is obviously a different environment. They're spending so like times 15 more time together than he ever spent with Michelle, probably collectively on this scene. Well, I don't know about collectively, but like yeah. So I think it means a lot. And it honestly, watching them, I was just like, dang, like why didn't you guys show me at least a little bit of them every episode, just so I'm not like, because I'm glad we can feel it with them, because if it was just lip service, like, oh, they just like each other, okay, that's cute, we'd just be like, oh, whatever, like Brennan and Serene, because it feels like, or we might even feel like we're kind of like being rushed into this relationship, like because they're saying they're falling in love, and like what you said, there's only been one rose ceremony, like
Yeah.
that's pretty expedited. So I'm glad for that. I'm glad we can feel it through the screen, and it's so great. But I do like moving forward, I think it's good editing to show me a little bit of their love story, so you're not putting it on them to like catch me up, at their date. They have to explain all of what we've kind of not
Hmm.
seen the past couple episodes. So, but yeah, I mean, they're elite. They are literally unmatched on this beach right now. Like no one is
They're
touching
so
them.
cute. They're so
Yeah.
cute. We love them, and it's genuine and it's real. So we'll see what happens. But Rodney and Lace, or Luce, they also started to vibe. It seemed like Jill was into Rodney, and so was Lace. But Lace was the one that like got his attention. And everyone was like, "Whoa! Like what a random couple." Allison, do you ship Rodney and Luce?
No. No.
No?
I'm with Wells. It feels random. And honestly, I feel like Lace just knew that she kind of needed someone to be with. She hasn't really been with anyone consistently. She's not had that solid connection. And I don't blame her because Rodney is like an absolute nugget of a human being. But I did think it was interesting. Like Jill was very much laying the groundwork, laying the foundation, like being funny, hyping him up around the table after Teddy left. And then he goes down to get a bar or go to the bar to get a drink. And then zoom, in comes Lace and they're taking a shot. And then suddenly they're making out on the beach. It like happened so quickly. And so I guess it's one of those if you're happy, I'm happy situations. I'm with Wells. I did not see this coming.
Yeah.
Totally.
It was random. We'll see what happens. I don't know. At least she got him without having to pretend it was her birthday, So clearly there's a little bit of a connection. But Michael A. and Sierra also broke up. He blindsided her. He told her he wanted to take it slow and just be friends. And Sierra was really taken aback by this because they've had some intimate, in-depth conversations throughout the season. Like they've really gotten to know each other and talked about like his family and his son and the world outside of here. I feel like Sierra was so supportive of Michael A. and she was definitely blindsided by this. So she decided to leave the beach because she just wasn't interested in anyone else. She didn't want to see him move on. Kayla, what were your thoughts on this breakup?
Yeah, so many mixed emotions. I mean, I definitely, I can't lie, I saw it coming a little bit. I just, there was something with them where I was like, I don't know if it's long term. And it's not, I don't think their connection, but I think it was just mainly from what I saw in the trailers, maybe, and just like, let me not completely like fall in love with them. But I think it's also a mix because I understand where Michael is coming from. I do. With just I think he's just scared. I think he's really scared, and I think for good reason. Because yeah, him and Sierra were super tight. Like they were a strong couple. And I think even early on, I Michael was kind of more the pursuer than Sierra. Like Sierra was like, yeah, he's cute. Like, and Michael is just talking like all these things he sees in her, and just like, so I'm just like, well, how do we go from there to you kind of backtracking? And he's even saying it, he does that. So it sucks to see, and I get his I don't want to hurt people, but I think it was just tough too that she did this whole thing for him with the stars, and even the meaning behind it being like, you and Laura and James, you guys will always be together. Whoever you choose moving forward, you'll always be. I just thought that was so thoughtful. And for him to break up with her in that moment was just so like, Michael, are you really doing that right now?
Well, Mary
Like, I
says, I
kind of was
felt so
mad
horrible for
at him.
Sierra. I think Michael realized she is too young for him. And honestly, like, I've seen online, and it seems like a lot of people are actually mad at Michael for possibly not being ready. He left Katie's season because he wasn't ready. Now he's put himself back in this environment. Sierra was the perfect person for him on paper. So he's gotten some backlash online. He even addressed it on his Instagram story saying that, he's sorry he let her down, but he was staying true to himself. So how do you think Michael A moves forward, Allison, in this experience? Because, I mean, I respect Sierra for leaving.
Yeah, no, I do too. And I think that's honestly a balance that you have to strike in Paradise because it's this constant thing in the back of your mind of when's the right time to go. You have people like Teddy where you're like, okay, well, that felt like out of nowhere and maybe you could have given yourself a little bit more time. But we've also seen people, in other seasons of the show just consistently feel like they're staying too long and just like continue to stir the pot and continue to just like mess up other solid relationships so that they can get someone. So it's like you have to monitor when you should go. And she said something along the lines of, I didn't want to be there and have him watch him fall in love with someone else. I didn't want to be like his ex in that way or watch him kiss other people because that's hard enough as it is. And it's hard too for Michael because yeah, he broke up with her, and one of the reasons he relied upon is having to take it slow and having to consider that he's a single father and was married. So what is it, because he's not ready? Is it just Sierra? Because if he's gonna go and get with
Yeah.
someone else or either leave with
Hmm.
someone or get engaged, then it's clear that it was not the process and not him being ready. It's clear that
Yeah.
she just wasn't his person.
And
Yeah,
that's
she
actually,
definitely
I'm glad you
wasn't.
said that, Allison. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I think that was the other thing that maybe people are a little like, okay, Michael, because are you being really honest? Because she left, not you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
you stayed. It's like, okay, so for what? Like, you obviously still want to find that person, but you're telling Sierra, oh, like, I don't want to use someone because I'm so hurt and I'm so, it's giving like you're not really being 100%. And I think that's just my, and I get it, and I like Michael, don't get me wrong, but I think, yeah, that's the weird kind of icky thing
Yeah.
about it to me.
It is quite
A lot of
literally
people
the
felt
it's not
that.
you, it's me. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
And
like
it's like
it, but you're kind of indirectly saying it is.
she also had the rose. Like, he should have left. If he
Mm-hmm.
was the one that wasn't ready, like, he should have been the one to leave. Like, why
Mm-hmm.
did she leave? She did put on Instagram that at the time she knew what she could handle emotionally. She said that my mother was a single parent, so I value time. I never want to waste mine or someone else's. I left. I didn't want to possibly get involved in a love triangle down the line, and it would have been cruel to use another man as a rebound. I'm proud I didn't hold back. I showed up as myself. I stayed true to my character by leaving. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and God was working every step of the way. Blessings do come in disguises. XO. So she took the high road. She
Mm-hmm.
left. Michael A is here, and the girls are supposed to, I don't think there's ever going to be a rose ceremony, to be honest, because Teddy just left. Now Sierra left. So we saw for the teaser next week they're bringing in Sally. I'm kind of assuming they're going to bring in another girl to like even it out. So it's hard to like even know what the format of this show is, because it kind of seems like there's a lot going on behind the scenes. But what do we think is next, Kayla? How does everybody move forward from this?
Yeah, I think bringing more women down will help, because at this point the guys are kind of like, so six guys can potentially go home. Like that's kind of wild.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I think that they'll probably, yeah, Sally will come down. I'm not sure who else they'd bring down at this time, but I don't think they'll bring any more guys down right now. I think they'll kind of let them figure it out. I'm kind of lost in even where we are. Like, what day is it in week 2? I don't even know. When is
Mm-hmm.
the rose ceremony coming? I don't even know. so,
If it is,
um,
what is
so
Deb
yeah. But I
saying?
think we'll. I know. I actually cannot see what Deb is saying.
Oh, because Kayla has one
So
contact in and one contact out. Okay, Allison, what is
sorry
Deb
It's
about
saying?
okay.
that.
I'll read Deb. I will read Deb. Don't worry, Deb. I'm
We
on it.
got you, Deb.
Deb says, I love Sierra so much, but I think she got in her head a bit too fast, already talking stepmom stuff. She has an open and pure heart, and I wish that Michael would have let her down sooner. I agree. I mean, that
Hmm.
scene of the two of them in the daybed when Sierra's going on and on and on, and she used the phrase, like, I'm going to be a bomb A stepmom. I was like, what an interesting phrase to like throw like a vulgar word into a statement about a child, but run with it, Sierra. And like she was just kind of going on and on about how great it was going to be. And you could just kind of see Michael A's face just not being engaged. She was kind of looking off and kind of just being like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And she's like rubbing his hand. And I was like, this is not gonna go well.
For
Mm,
sure.
yeah.
And we're opening it up to our Q&A. So if you guys have any thoughts or opinions about this episode, put it in the live chat right now. We will read through all of them. Trisha is saying Michael A is annoying with the I'm not ready thing. Why are you there? See, I was like thinking about this because like I don't want to ever downplay like what Michael A has been through, because it's clearly really traumatizing, especially compared to all the other contestants who are looking for love. I mean, everybody has their story. But Michael A has just been through something so traumatizing. But it definitely kind of feels like, same thing as like Katie's season, where it's just kind of just been like, I don't know if I'm ready, and there's all this pressure, and like obviously that's just like a huge part of his journey, so it will never go away. But it definitely feels like, are you open? Are you ready? That's kind of why we
Mm,
said maybe Sierra shouldn't
yeah.
have left. But it's clear
Mm,
that, Michael A is a fan favorite. And, I think that there's been some speculation about like a wedding he went to with somebody. So I have high hopes for Michael A
mm.
that he will find love
Yeah.
and everything he
Yeah.
needs. Allison, why don't you take Todd's?
Todd said, okay, who is Jacob going to end up with? Jacob, my dog. He's just an interesting
I forgot he
human.
was there.
I am intrigued by
right?
potentially a Jacob and Jill match just because I think they're quirky. I
Hmm.
think they're fun. I think they have similar kind of just like senses of humor. I know Kira was the one who put the leaves on, but maybe she left those behind and she could just give them to Jill and Jill can see if they're her same size. And
Yeah,
maybe we'll
it's a good
see that in an
idea.
upcoming episode.
I think
Jacob,
Jake and Jill are cute. Yeah, that'd be cute.
Jake and Jack and Jill, similar. I mean, they're who else are they gonna
Ah,
get with? You know, who literally,
it's true.
like I don't know. She said she's done with Romeo, so I feel like that makes sense. You know, Lace has kind of moved on to Rodney. It doesn't really feel like Jill has anyone else on the beach unless she goes for Andrew. Um, you know, I don't know. Someone is
Yeah,
coming
don't know
back
about that
tonight
one.
though, Kayla. I don't know if you know this, so I'm not gonna say, but someone is gonna return tonight who left the beach. So do you want to have any guesses?
Someone's gonna return who left the beach.
Yeah. Allison, do you know?
Like someone who got
Zach
eliminated?
told me last week. Zach told me
Oh, okay, wait. So let
before.
me
Okay.
try to guess. Let me try to guess.
I mean,
Um,
it's on in
it's
three
gonna be a.
hours.
I know, right? It's a girl. It's a girl, right?
It's a girl.
Am I right with that? Okay, okay, okay,
See
okay,
if
okay,
you
okay,
guys can
okay.
guess in the live chat.
Before me, maybe. Okay, wait. So Hunter left. Haley left. I'm
Haley.
missing one. Who's the
A few
third
girls
one?
left.
Teddy. Teddy's not coming back. And then Sierra's not
Teddy
coming back.
left.
She wrote the whole IG story. Wait, who am I missing, Zach? There's another girl who
Maybe
left the first
Sierra,
week.
maybe Kira.
Kira! Okay, maybe Kira or maybe Hunter. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I feel like we didn't get much from Hunter other than her IBS. So maybe she needs a redemption arc.
I think so.
So
But so
Trisha
they
says
how did
it's
they do that? Sorry.
well, you'll see it play out in a
Yes,
few
let's see.
hours. And you'll be like, oh. So Trisha says it's amazing how it can be all about the editing. Shanae is now really likable. Do you feel like
Mm-hmm.
that, Allison? And you just interviewed her, right? Like you had her on the Vile Files. Like, what do you think of Shanae?
Shanae, I mean, I agree with Trisha. It's a lot about editing, and this is the type of environment, especially not just Bachelor in Paradise, but especially for your main seasons of Bachelor, of Bachelorette. If the house decides that they do not like you, there's nothing you can really do about it. And we saw that with Thomas on Katie's season. Suddenly, he acknowledged that he would be open to being the Bachelor, which to play devil's advocate, majority of those guys would have probably said the same thing. They just wouldn't have actually verbalized it out loud. And then suddenly he's the villain. He goes on Bachelor in Paradise. He ends up with Becca, who's like such a sweetheart. They're happy and living such a low key life. And I feel like it's a similar thing with Shanae. Like the house decided she didn't like her. She and Elizabeth definitely brought out the worst in each other. And now we're able to see her in a completely different environment with not a full house of people who have stereotypes and like ideas of who she is mixed with guys who like
Yeah.
kind of like mix. I don't know. I just think it's a different environment
Hmm.
and you can oftentimes see people in a much different life because just a much different circumstance.
Her and
Yeah.
Genevieve had like a closing credit scene at the end of it, and they were like vibing and getting along, and it was just like I love this. Like these are people I wanted to be
Yeah.
friends. But someone I
Mm-hmm.
follow on Twitter, Shy Girl Sentiment, she tweeted, "That's great that Genevieve and Shanae are friends, but why haven't they addressed why she said what she said about Aaron on the Women Tell All when she was like, well, you got with Aaron while I was grieving." Like they didn't address that on
Mm-hmm.
TV, which was like their whole fallout, which was like what really made them hate each other. So I just feel like I wish that they did it because it's
Yeah.
like all this fluff on the show, but they never actually get into like what's behind the scenes. Celeste
Hmm.
says, Zachary, I saw a preview of Teddy talking to Aaron, so I think it's Teddy. And then our last commenter was saying that she hopes it's Kira because she really likes listening to her on Talking It Out. So, Kayla, have you figured it out who's coming back yet?
I think it might be it's well, let me tell you why I don't think it's Teddy.
Okay.
Because Teddy posted that Instagram post, but also
Mm.
that was editing with her and Aaron. That was clearly a scene that they kind of cut from the main episode of her crying over Andrew, same hair, same scrunchy, whole situation. And then they kind of just spliced it with Aaron seemingly reacting to it. But yeah, I think it might be Hunter, because I feel like we didn't really get, I don't know, with Haley it felt like it was an ending, like, okay, I'm leaving. And the other girls just don't, yeah, they left in like a more definitive way. So I think we'll see Hunter back, and I think she might try to like fight for Johnny or something. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Okay, I love the guess. I'm not gonna say because
Okay.
it just hasn't happened yet. But just DM me if you want to know. And
Okay.
I mean, that was pretty much our episode. I mean, Allison, Sally's coming down the beach. Do you have high hopes for her and Justin? What is she gonna say with her suitcase?
I don't know. I don't even think it's her suitcase. Like this whole thing, you cried last week, Zach, when we did a panel together. We cried laughing about just how quickly she leaves all these scenarios. And so it's like, do I
Yeah.
have high hopes for her, like making it to the end? Probably not, because her track record is very flighty. Her track record is I'll commit to something and then realize I'm not ready and then leave. She left Clayton season because she was still hung up on her ex. Hearing that she met up with her ex before coming down here, who's to say she doesn't come for a few days or get through a rose ceremony and then suddenly realizes she wants to be back with him again? Like, it feels like she keeps coming back to her ex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sally's not
Oh,
lasting
Sally.
long. No,
I don't even know if it's
I
about
don't
the
think
whole
so.
ex, but we'll see like what her
Mm.
story is when she shows up. I mean, I would be pissed if people went through my suitcase. And like you said, Allison, we don't even
Oh,
know if it's really her
absolutely.
suitcase. But like,
Yeah.
what is she gonna? How is she gonna react? Like, she's gonna be pissed at everybody. Like, I don't know. It's gonna be dramatic, and like Sally has done nothing. It's all the pre-scenes before it's filmed that it seems like Sally's at her peak. Sally
Yeah.
needs a reality show like 24/7. Like, we need to see Sally's life. So Sassy in Chicago says the whole Sally thing is stupid. Kayla, what do you think?
I think so. Listen, Sassy in Chicago, I feel you, because I'm just like, all of it is so much build up with Sally. And in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, I don't think Sally is gonna, I think they're building it up and spending so much time on Sally without her even there, because she's not even going to be there long. So that's what they got. So
Mm.
that's what they're going to do.
This is
Because I
Sally's
think even
season.
the footage we see, the footage we see of Justin is with, like, I think Eliza from the trailers. So
Mm-hmm.
no spoilers. You
Oh,
can go
yeah.
look at the trailer and see it. So we don't even see Sally's not even in the trailer at all. So I don't think she's gonna make it past probably I don't even know if she'll stay for the rose
Wait, so
ceremony. We'll
you
have to
guys
see, but
know,
she better bring me something, because there's been a
she
lot of build
will.
up for her to, blow up the
There
beach.
has. And do you guys know for Halloween this year, I'm going to be Sally's suitcase. I have like a
Oh
black
my
suitcase
god.
that is like kind of old, and like I'm just over it. And I'm gonna cut holes in it for the arms, and then cut holes for the legs. Get a duct tape, then write Sally on it, and then wear a blonde wig. And I don't know if I'm gonna put things in the suitcase or not, but I'm doing it one of the nights. Do you guys support this? Would
That's
you be down to dress up
incredible.
as someone
This is
else?
fabulous. This is fabulous.
This
I
is
support it.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely stunning.
Did you
Yeah,
see this
I'm
coming,
obsessed with
Allison?
this.
I saw, didn't you post this on Instagram? Was it Instagram or TikTok? And you were asking people
Yeah, yeah.
suggestions. And I think I saw someone comment Sally's suitcase. And I was like, that's really funny. But then you commented something back of like, yeah, maybe not. And so I was like, oh, he's not going to do it. So I'm really glad that you
Oh,
took it to heart.
yeah.
Well, I'm doing it, but Allison, can
Absolutely
you
have
be
to.
Wells? And then maybe Kayla, you could be like
Oh,
Jesse
sure.
Palmer.
Yeah.
Oh my god, me trying to be Jesse Palmer would be hilarious.
Well, who do you want to be? Do you want to be Jacob?
I don't know. I don't know. I could try to be Jesse Palmer, I guess. I have to think about it. Let me think of something clever. Like, Sally's suitcase
Yeah,
is
I
so
would.
clever.
I want you to be
Basic.
Teddy, but then like you wouldn't end up coming out with us, like knowing you would just kind of do the Irish goodbye. So I
You
don't
would get
really
in
know
a
how I feel about
van.
that.
Kayla would
Yeah.
call herself like a Uber XL and just leave.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe you
bringing
could be
Peach Teddy Bear with
Sally's
me.
Sally's waffle maker. I don't
Don't
know.
even.
You can come
I was
come
about to say, I
in the
thought you were gonna
suitcase
say
with me.
something else.
No, I wasn't. You can be in the suitcase with me throughout the night, and
Yes,
then you
that
can
would
pop
be
out.
so cute.
You could be
That'd
the producer.
perfect.
Well, that was our episode. So let us know your predictions for tonight and the rest of the season and what your thoughts were on the episode and the Ashley and Jared of it all. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell before you guys head out of here. I am your host, Zachary Reality, with Allison Van Dam and Kayla Thompson. Feel free to check us out on our socials. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.